Hey Wealth Builders! Welcome back to another episode of The Bemused. My name is Mishak.
And I'm Akiva.
And on this channel, we talk about all things personal finance for young adults just like you and us.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, go on ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you never miss when we post brand new, fun, valuable videos just like this one.
So this is part 2 of our previous video where we were talking about our honeymoon. So in this video, we're going to be telling you guys how we were able to pay nothing for it. Okay, so I'm going to put somewhere on the screen what the total cost of what we spent for our honeymoon was, or what all those things were. If you were paying attention from our last video, I mentioned towards the beginning that we cannot really tell you what the true value of those flights were because the credit card company that we booked the flights with was saying that the cost was over $3,000, but when we were communicating with the airline, they were saying that it was around $1,500. So we can only tell you what we spent out of pocket, which was $441. And we also covered that our lodging in the Maldives as well as Dubai, we did not spend anything out of pocket. The only cost that we spent specifically for the Maldives, hotel related outside of food and activity, was for the speedboat that we had to take from the main island over to where the resort was. So boom, now that all of that's kind of settled and we got you guys back up to speed, we're going to go into how we were able to pay for it. So Akiva's going to give you a quick little explanation as to what we did, and then we'll go into the details.
Really, this all boils down to two things. Two key things. Credit card rewards and bank account bonuses. That's the secret, y'all. That's the secret. That's it. That's really it. Video over. The end. Goodbye. Thanks. Have a great day. Okay, I'm done.
So just so that this is extremely clear, all right? So when we started on this journey well over a year plus ago, we did not know that we would be going to Dubai and the Maldives or at all. I was just throwing out the idea that, hey, let's try. And after like me kind of going down the rabbit hole of looking at other YouTubers that are able to travel the world and not pay anything, and then also seeing a pretty, not popular, but a company on Shark Tank where they came up with a similar tactic, I just started doing a whole bunch of research, and that's what got us into, you know, these different things.
We are novices in the travel hacking universe.
We're not pros.
We are not pros, but that just goes to show you that like
it can be done.
It can be done.
Yeah.
You know, it can be done for certain people.
And yeah.
A lot of requirements that need to be made, which we'll get into, that, you know, might be harder for some people to meet than others, but it's possible. So between the two of us, we opened 3 new credit cards in this process. Mishak opened the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. I opened both the Chase Sapphire Preferred card as well as the Hilton Honors Surpass card, which is partnered through American Express.
So the Chase Sapphire Reserve, at the time when I opened the card, the annual fee was $450. So it was a hefty boy, all right? Had to pay $450 up front on month 1. There was no grace period of a year like you get with some cards. But when I paid the $450, I got back $300 immediately towards travel. And what I did was I said, well, what we're gonna do, because we didn't know where we wanted to go, I said, well, let me buy a gift card, because that was going to trigger what needed to be triggered on the credit card, where I would get $300 back, you know, redeemable, so it would balance out to 0. So we bought a gift card for Delta Airlines because I was like, hey, I like Delta, she likes Delta, we both have accounts with Delta, loyalty accounts, so let's just go with Delta.
And also they have a large partnership network, which is also a more important thing.
Yes.
Is that we knew we could travel with a lot of different airlines going to the destinations that we were kind of thinking of initially. So
then, outside of the $300 travel credit, it also came with a global entry credit, where you could either do global entry or TSA pre-check, and that was valued at $100. So you can get that and they would reimburse you for that up to $100.
Which we did take advantage of coming back into the US, and it was beautiful because we were like the only ones going through there.
Next, the next benefit of that card was Priority Pass. We didn't get to take advantage of that because we'll explain later, but we did take advantage of that with the trip that we took in Europe the year prior. as well as other trips that we took back and forth between Boston and Maryland. And then the last benefit of that card, I honestly don't remember, but I'll put them on the screen just because it'll be simpler. But it came with a lot of benefits and a lot of things that were added on to the card afterwards. But what is the most important thing of the card was if you spent $4,000 in the first 3 months of account opening, you were able to receive, I believe, 50,000 points. And those 50,000 points were valued at $750 towards travel if booked through the Chase portal. After you take into consideration the $450 that was spent for the annual fee on the card, the $750 if you meant the sign-up bonus, that brings us to a value of about $300 for that card in year 1.
In addition to the other benefits, like we said, the $100 worth of global entry that we didn't have to pay for and things like that. So some additional benefits there. So it's really a little bit more than 300, but give or take, being conservative.
Yeah, we're going with $300 for that.
Yeah, and priority pass. Big benefit. Now let's talk about the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So with this card, it was a similar thing. We had to spend a minimum of $4,000 in the first 3 months, I believe it was, and the sign-up bonus was getting 60,000 points. The funny part though is that those 60,000 points at that time, because I had gotten it in like a special offer period, equated to the same value as what we got with the more expensive Chase Sapphire Reserve card. So that was also worth $750 when redeemed through the Chase Rewards portal, which again we did. That's how we booked our flights for the trip. And the annual fee on that card was only $95, so really the net value of that card was, what is that, $655.
And that all these values are based off of if redeemed through the Chase portal, where you would get the most bang for your buck. Just want to make that clear.
Which we did. Then we had the Hilton Honors Surpass card. So getting the Hilton Honors Surpass card was a strategic move because that card also came with its own sign-up bonus. I honestly don't remember exactly how much money we had to spend in the first 3 months or so to get that bonus, but the bonus we received was 150,000 Hilton Honors points. And just to put that into perspective, an average like basic hotel room like in the US is typically around 30,000 points or so. So that's a good chunk of change. That really went a long way and really is what we use to pay for, in addition to the points that we had built up before and accrued, all of our lodging on our trip. That card also came with a limited version of Priority Pass, which we mentioned we used on our trip a lot. So we were able to, take advantage of the lounges and the food and not have to pay anything extra for it.
The reason why we used the Hilton Honors Surpass card's Priority Pass was because I had downgraded my card after the first year because number one, the annual fee had increased and Mishak was not going to pay, almost $500 again for year 2. I got my value and then downgraded that bad boy. So, and then just also to be clear, you guys might be wondering, well, how was Mishak and Akiva able to spend $4,000 on this card, on that card? What we did was we worked together as a team. So we didn't get these cards all on the same day. So we started with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which was the card that I had, and everything that could be spent was put on that card between the two of us. So I did not make Akiva an authorized user on that card because you had to pay a fee of, I believe, $125 for each authorized user. And I thought, why am I giving them more money? So what I did was I gave Akiva the credit card number and all the information, as well as put the digital card on her Apple Wallet so that she could make purchases that way so that we could meet that spend. After that was done, then we moved on to the next card, which was the Chase Sapphire Preferred, which is the little brother to the Reserve, and we did the same thing. But she was able to make me an authorized user on that card, and I actually had a physical card because there was no cost for that one. So that's how we did that. And then for the Hilton card, same thing. Worked together to put all the spend onto that card as much as we could.
Yep, and that's how we made it work.
And that is how we got about $300 worth of travel value if booked through the Chase Sapphire, if booked through Chase's portal with my card, and $655 on Akiva's card.
Yes, not to mention, like I said, the additional value and money we saved through Priority Pass and that lounge access, which really came in clutch in saving money.
but we're not going to include any value there because we just don't think that you can monetize that.
Then part 2, the bank account bonuses, which I think are thoroughly slept on, but we cleaned up, y'all. Of course we had a spreadsheet. Y'all know we live our lives off of spreadsheets. So we went and we did a lot of research every month. These aggregator sites, you know, that put out these lists of like best bank account bonuses out there, we were on them. We were doing them all. Everyone that we qualified for, we did. Some were easier to get than others, but in general, most of them required some level of recurring direct deposit of a minimum amount, in addition to possibly a minimum balance or some combination of the two, things like that. So again, we teamed up together and made it work. I think there was one that it was like direct deposit has to be of like $5,000 a month or something like that, which neither of us made like on our own or something like that. So again, we were here to change it. I'm sure HR was getting mad at me because I was changing my direct deposit about every payday. So it would be, you know, this amount. If we were gonna be short, it was all right. We're both gonna put our money in this account this time, and next time we're both gonna put our money in account that time, you know, next time. So we teamed up, made it work. And so we're just gonna run down a nice short list of all the money that we got.
So I'm gonna list the account bonuses that Akiva received as well as myself, and we're gonna just run down the list that way. So for myself, HSBC, $200, Wells Fargo, $400, TD, $150, BBVA, $250, Bank of America, $100, M&T Bank, $200, Santander, or Santander, however you say that, $225, Fulton Bank, $200. Next for Akiva, SoFi, $200, Wells Fargo, $400, BBVA, $250, Bank of America, $100, M&T Bank, $200, Santander, $225, Citizens Bank, $300, and Century Bank, $250. And then I'm going to mention this, but we didn't actually get the bonus, but I really want to tell you how terrible of a bank this bank is. Citibank, both of us, tried to get the account bonus with Citibank, and we followed the rules to a T, because at this time we were pros at doing these things with, oh, you got to keep it for 90 days, keep it open for 100, like we knew it all, had a spreadsheet telling us which day we could close, open, do all of this stuff. And Citibank was just playing with the both of us. Like, we were supposed to get $200 from Citi, and they completely, they let me open the account after holding the account for the amount of time I was supposed to hold it. Then they closed it and sent me a check, which I'm assuming they just didn't want to give me the sign-up bonus. So Citi, you're terrible, you're trash.
Kids.
And then, like I said, it wasn't just me. Akiva, similar situation. Yeah. Had the account open, went through the whole process, and then closed the account and sent her back the money. Like, oh, although you've had an account with us for X amount of days, we, for whatever reason, decided that you didn't fit whatever criteria, so we're going to close the account and give you back your money, when it was just around time for them to give you the bonus. So, not saying that they were, trying to cheat you, but that's what it seemed like to me.
So if you've been following and feverishly adding numbers up with the calculator, no, you haven't done that, so we'll tell you how much it was. All of our bank account bonuses amounted to a total of $3,650, you guys. $3,650.
That's some good
from
money.
Bank account bonuses. We did some in 2019, some in 2020, and there's one more bank account bonus actually that hit in 2021 that we haven't talked about, which was $500 from Needham Bank. So it's important to note that this is taxable income, so we did have to pay taxes on that. Some of them hit in 2019, some of them hit in 2020, so we did, and we are still, 2020 tax filing season, paying money, our taxes on these. But even after that, it's still a decent chunk of change at our tax rate anyway.
And then for the last category, we're going to talk about those points, all right? So it started for me back in 2017 when I graduated from undergrad. So I actually, people on the phone, hey, booking hotel rooms for all the family members that are coming. And I had to reserve all the rooms in my name, personal choice, until everyone else switched it over to their respective names. What I didn't know at the time, they were, sign up for Hilton Rewards or Honors account, all that good stuff. So I was just like, what the heck, I don't care, I'm gonna just sign up. So I signed up, And I did not know until afterwards that because the hotel rooms were in my name first, that those people were put on the room as secondary. So I received points for not all of the rooms, but some of them. So thanks to all those people.
You jump-started a wonderful journey. But yeah, so basically, as you know, we stayed different places. If I had to stay somewhere for work, I'd make sure it was a Hilton brand, get points that way. Like I said, we had our 150,000 point bonus. So just an accumulation of all that stuff, we ended up with a nice chunk of change. Just sticking with one loyalty program we found has worked better for us, best for us. And so that's the strategy that we used. And that's basically it. So between our credit cards, our bank account bonuses, and the value of those points, we essentially came out spending nothing. When you add up all of the spending that we did from our day-to-day activities, and our bank account bonuses basically net each other out. We talked about the airfare and stuff and different things where we basically were net zero for this trip. So we were super excited that we were able to make this happen, and hopefully this was inspiring for you to watch.
So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss when we post new content. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.